We are here with Ulaayu Pilurtuut, and we are going to talk about Ulaayu's art, which has recently been nominated by the Royal Canadian Mint for being on a coin. So Ulaayu, tell me a little bit about what got you started in art.
My both parents were both artists. So as I was growing up, I watched them carve. Especially my dad was a carver, worked with soapstone. And my mother was, she did a lot of sewing, and she made wall hangings of her art. Yeah. So I watched them work with art most of my life. So I think that's what started me, because I was trying to, I did interfere my dad from his work and bothered him trying to sculpt, to do the sculpture with him. Yeah. So that started me and got me interested in art, and also from school. You know, the school was introduced to us, and there were colors coming out, and so I really liked drawing.
How do you use color, and how do you use black and white, and what's your approach to designing these these are drawings?
These are drawings done with micropigment pen.
Micropigment pen.
Yes, and I make a lot of dots, because maybe for the fact that I like working with dots. Yeah. But I started adding up color, and when I add color, there's more life to it.
I noticed in your artwork, both here and in the gallery, that you have a lot of nature scenes. This one itself has a fish. Yeah. A fishing scene. So what is the role that nature plays in your art?
It's my culture mainly, and to keep my culture strong. I love fishing. I love going fishing. I go up camping with my parents. When the school was done, we would go to a land for like 2 months in spring, and not go to a community. So the landscape had a lot of, I love being in the land, out in the land.
So your paintings kind of depict some of the emotional richness that is in fishing.
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to capture in your paintings?
Yes, I do, because a lot of time we bring our families. We don't often leave our kids behind. We have them follow us. Going out fishing and keeping the tradition strong. Yeah. In doing activity, it was to survive. There's hardly any. We eat what we have up north.
So fishing is part of the food system that you're supplying and provisioning for your family.
Yes, it is.
Are there other ecological challenges that you all are facing, because now this whole Nunavik and the northern area is getting affected by climate change? Are you feeling any of that in your day-to-day lives? Yeah. The effects of climate change?
Yeah.
What are those?
It's like through my art, I try to keep the culture strong. Yeah. Because I get to say what this is in my language, because it has a name. And the catching of the fish has its meanings.
This meaning that there are these. What are these?
We call this alloy. This is a fishing hole
from
the ice.
Yes. Okay.
We
use fish underneath the ice. Yeah.
We do jigging, and because of the climate change, people are less to go to the site where they used to go. Yeah. Because the snow is our route to get to that point. Yeah. Where we can't just fly with the helicopter or a plane or by car. We have to travel by canoe or skidoo. And some travel by dock team. Okay. So it's
so with the snow melting, you can't go to the places that you were going to fish.
Yeah, and the language is changing too, because what we see with the climate change, the words that we used to know in our language are disappearing along with the snow. Really? So the stuff that we knew in Inuktitut because there are so many ways of saying snow. I mean, describing snow, and if it's been changed, then
the language
changes.
This is very interesting. So, because now there is not that much variety in the quantity of snow, so you have part of the language disappearing along with.
Like if people would choose a good spot to build an igloo, and with the climate change, it's hard to even find a nice area where you can build an igloo right there, because the snow is not the same as before.
Right.
It used to be hard able to hold a man on top of the igloo, but now it's just soft. And the word, I mean, igloo itself has a lot of meaning, a lot of words into it in our language. And if people stop building igloos, it will have an effect on our culture, on our language. So it's like the snow melting is almost contributing to losing our language.
Part of the culture.
Yeah, part of our culture.
Yeah. So in terms of the First Nations have survived through many crises, over the hundreds of years.
Yeah.
And we need to learn lessons from the First Nations. So could you reflect on what are some of the values of the First Nations, how they treat people and how they treat the land that we should be thinking about in modern society?
The values within our culture is a lot of sharing, helping, where we don't have everything in our communities. Like, if someone has a family problem, there's no family counseling. If someone has a marital problem, there's no marriage counseling. If someone suicides, there's no suicide counselor. So we have to kind of depend on each other. And we become everybody's somebody. I might be an artist, but I become someone who will comfort my friend who had lost a dear life of their loved ones.
So you have to play many roles.
Yes,
because there is no services available from the government.
We have to play many roles. Like for myself, I create songs, children's songs. I'm a painter, I'm a musician, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, I'm a fisherman. I can be anything almost.
It's very versatile. Personalities have to be developed in order to cope with the hard conditions under which you live. So in closing, let me just ask you, how would you like your art and your, how would you like it to be remembered, and how would you like it to be used?
I would want it to be remembered for who we are. As an Inuit, it's almost like being ambassador for Inuit, so that they're recognized through my art. This is something that I love, and hopefully that will be passed on to other generations. So encouragement of the Inuit artists to continue, because they have it in them. Some sort of talent. It can be music, art, sewing, become family. To me, it's a gift that we all want to have.
Well, thank you very much. This is very helpful. I hope that this today and the next 2 days when you're here for the festival will help bring that message out to the public.
I hope so too. And I'm very thankful for my family. I have 4 wonderful children and grandchildren, and I've worked with them, and I've watched them grow up, and they had given me some ideas to what to paint, or I've taken some pictures, and I have a partner who's very supportive in what I do, even at work. So if I have to travel for work, which I'm doing right now, and attending this event, And I'm very happy to have families.
And lucky to have all the people supporting your work.
And my friends.
Well, you can count us among your supporters.
Thank you.
And I hope that we will have an opportunity to bring you back sometime and do other projects.
Oh, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.